Okay, good evening. This is Hong Kong time, 7 p.m. I'm the presenter, Professor Andrew Lam, the program leader of the Doctor of Optometry, D Optometry. So after the last information seminar held on 20th of February, so this information seminar will provide a little bit more information compared with the previous one because of the questions raised by the audience last time. So I will go through some information with you regarding the DA Optom program. First of all, some introduction about the School of Optometry at PolyU. Our school has been ranked #1 in Asia by the Clinical and Experimental Optometry in 2021. And we are also ranked the #15 globally based on our research performance. Our school has been focusing on myopia research. So in all sorts of investigation, including genetics, proteomic, animal models, and clinical trial. The other research focus of our school is healthy lifelong vision. So we work on a number of ocular diseases, such as age-related macular degeneration, glaucoma, in terms of the aqueous humor production and different sorts of diagnostic tests. We also work on vision rehabilitation. So back to the D Optometry program, which is the first of its kind offered in Hong Kong. Currently, our school is the only university in Hong Kong offering optometric education in the Bachelor of Science honors in optometry. So the optometry program is to develop optometry leaders in a chosen specialty area, preparing those practicing optometrists to become experts and opinion leaders in a selected specialty areas. We aim to foster development of advanced clinical skills, the critical analysis ability and management, and contemporary research methods required for optometry specialists. Our graduates will be expected to become experts and opinion leaders of the optometry profession with advanced clinical knowledge and skills. So our program is a mixed mode program. So you can select to study it in a full-time mode or part-time mode. Similar to all the doctorate taught postgraduate programs, the minimum requirements will be 48 credits. So our program also consists of 48 credits, in which there are 24 credits for coursework, another 24 credits for research. So you end up with a thesis. The tuition fee is based on the number of credits. We are now charging 11,700 per credits. So the total tuition fee is less than 600,000 upon the completion of our program. The medium of instruction is English. That is actually the official instruction medium for the PolyU. If you choose to study our program or complete our program in a full-time mode, so we expect you to finish it in 2.5 years or 5 years in part-time. The first cohort started in September this year, and we are reaching the final stage upon the approval from the Senate, which will be in June this year. Everything is running smoothly regarding the validation process so far. Bear in mind, the online application is already opened. So whenever the folder is filled, then we finish the online application. So our program is aimed to educate practicing optometrists. I emphasize practicing optometrists. So you are a clinician in the field. So upon graduation, you will become an independent, competent, and evidence-based optometry specialist. You will be specialized in an area. We also aim to educate practicing optometrists to incorporate the latest scientific and technological advances into their optometric services. So hopefully, you gained what you learned in an optometry specialty area, and then you become a specialist in that area and providing services to your patients. And we also aim to equip practicing optometrists with the ability to conduct research and apply research findings in their chosen optometry specialty areas. So let me go through some more details about the program structures. So 24 credits of coursework and 24 credits of thesis, which is really the research work. The students are also required to pass the national education and academic integrity and ethics, expected to be completing this in the first year of your study. What subjects are included in the coursework? So there are 3 compulsory subjects. One subject is orthokeratology principles and management. Our school has been very strong in orthokeratology research. The subject leader is Dr. Vincent Ng, and we also have Dr. Peggy Zhang and Dr. Pauline Cho. So those who are in the orthokeratology area should know Professor Cho very well, a pioneer in orthokeratology research. This subject includes clinical procedures in ortho-K practice, some common problems in ortho-K practice and their management, as well as specialized ortho-K fitting. So this subject carries 6 credits because normal subjects usually carry 3 credits each. This subject carries 6 credits because there is pretty extensive practical elements in it. The other compulsory subject also carries 6 credits is specialty contact lens principles and management. The subject leader is Dr. Thomas Lam. We also have Dr. Peggy Zhang, Dr. Larry Ng, and Dr. Vincent Ng contributing to the teaching. Subject contents includes multifocal contact lenses, keratoconus lenses, scleral and mini-scleral lenses. Especially nowadays, scleral, mini-scleral lens are pretty commonly used to treat dry eye syndrome. And the fitting of specialty contact lenses involving practical elements pretty extensively. So that's why this subject also carries 6 credits. One more compulsory subject is health economics. Dr. Tina Lin is the subject leader who is specialized in health economics. The subject content include educating you about the supply and demand regarding healthcare, health services financing, and economic evaluation of health services. We put this as a compulsory subject because we aim to educate you to provide your insights and your suggestions to your government regarding the best eye and ocular health care to the community. So that's why we need to equip you with this aspect. There are 3 elective subjects that you need to choose from 5 subjects. So one elective subject is contemporary myopia control and management. Dr. Dennis there is the subject leader. If you know the DIMS lens, which is a spectacle lens to control myopia progression, Dr. Zhe started his research, I think perhaps 20 years ago in animal studies. then evolving to clinical trial with this soft lens, and then eventually with the spectacle lens themes. So Dr. Jie is really the leaders in this area. We also have Professor Henry Chen, Dr. Rachel Chun, and Dr. Vincent Ng as other teaching staff contributing to this subject. When studying this subject, you will learn the signaling cascades of refractive development, how to utilize optical defocus for retarding myopia progression, and also pharmacological and surgical management of myopia will be covered. Another elective subject is application of innovative ocular therapeutics. Dr. Jessica Neville is our subject leader. Other teaching staff include Professor Ming Kwang He and Dr. Li Ping Chao. If you are aware of the low power red light therapy, so certainly you know Professor He, who is also involving in a lot of other research areas, such as the using of AI in aiding the diagnosis of ocular diseases. This subject will cover advancements in ocular drug formulations, advancement in ocular drug delivery systems, and traditional Chinese medicine will also be covered for ocular use or ophthalmic use. The other elective subject, the third one that you can choose from out of 5, is contemporary amblyopia treatments and management. Dr. Peter Pang is the subject leader. We also have Dr. Jeffrey Leung and Professor Ben Thompson. So if you heard about dioptic treatment in amblyopia, brain stimulation, then you should have read Professor Thompson's paper and perhaps also Dr. Pang's paper as well. In this subject, certainly it covers dioptic treatment. So nowadays is not restricted to just occlusion of the good eye. This subject will also cover brain stimulation application in amblyopia treatment, and low energy red laser treatment will also be covered in this subject. The other elective subject that you can consider is ocular misalignment and visual perception. Dr. Jeffrey Leung is the subject leader. We also have Professor Alan Chong and Dr. Alan Tang contributing to the teaching. So ocular misalignment is regarding the binocularity of the patients. So this subject covers visual perception disorders, optometric management for patients with special education needs, and major optometric tests for visual perception and sports visions. So it covers a lot in visual perception, including sports vision, where the United States has been specialized in this area. And we will invite some visiting lecturers to cover some topics. The final elective subjects that you can choose from is computer vision and image processing. Dr. Xiaoming Hu from the Department of Computing is the subject leader. As you know, that ophthalmic field involves a lot of imaging. So the image acquisition and formation models will be covered, and also high-level image processing, as well as computer vision related tasks will also be mentioned. Then after finishing all the coursework, carrying 24 credits, you will be involved in a research project. And that research project will end up with a thesis as a piece of your assignment. So we divide the thesis into 2 stages, the thesis proposal and the formal thesis. So the thesis include the proposal, which carries around 4,000 words. You suggest you work with your supervisor and come up with a proposal, you need to attend and defend your proposal in a panel. And you need to make an oral presentation. Then after your proposal has been approved, then you can carry out the real research work to come up with a thesis and pass an oral examination. You also need to have some research output in terms of a peer-reviewed paper published, or you present your abstract and research work in a conference. Then you complete your thesis. However, here is a bit of more information about the research areas that you can choose from. Actually, when you go to our School of Optometry website under research and then the pull-down menu of research area, you will reach this page, which includes all the research areas that we have specialists working on different areas. So I strongly encourage you to visit our webpage, especially under research and research areas. Of course, your research could be based on the compulsory subject as well as the elective subjects that you finished earlier. So you may also be working on amblyopia, binocular vision, or myopia. So here is suggest study patterns. If you select to finish our program in a full-time mode, then in the first year, you are expected to finish 3 subjects in the first semester, and then another 3 subjects in the second semester. So you will finish 24 credits in the 2 semesters. In order to complete our program in 2.5 years, you need to fully utilize your summer terms in both the first year. So you will start the thesis proposal in summer term, which lasts from June to August. Also, in the second year and the first semester, you still have time to finalize your thesis proposal because, as I said, you need to make a presentation to get it approved. Then, starting in the second semester, you can start your research data collection. The first stage, which is the thesis proposal, it carries 6 credits. And we divide the second stage into 3 different substages, 2A, 2B, and 2C, because the tuition fee will be based on the credits that you register. So other than paying the tuition fee for 18 credits, one at a time, you can pay the tuition fee through 3 different sections. Each carry 6 credits. So it is more easier for you to handle the tuition fee, we believe. But we expect you to finish your research work and completion of your thesis in the first semester of your 3rd year. So overall, it will take 2.5 years. Or if you study in a part-time mode, we still expect you to complete it in 5 years rather than too long. So you may take just 1 subject in the first semester, our compulsory subject, and also another compulsory subject in the second semester. Then in the second year, you spend 2 semesters to finish the other subjects. And you will have 3 years to finish your thesis, both the stage 1 as well as the stage 2. Because that is a part-time mode study, you can still have some relaxing time in your summer term. Here are subjects that we plan to offer in different semesters. For example, the optokeratology principles and management will be offered in the first semester, and the second semester will have specialty contact lens principles and management, as well as the health economics. In the first semester, we also have 3 elective subjects that you can choose from. And the second semester, there are 2 more elective subjects that we are planning to offer. So it is up to you to select or to register different elective subjects in the 2 semesters. So the graduation requirement will be 24 credits of coursework. As I mentioned, it will be expected to be complete in the first year in full-time mode or 2 years in part-time mode. Then 24 credits of thesis. Hopefully, you can complete it sooner than 2.5 years, or 1.5 years for the thesis, if you work in full gear. The graduation requirement also dependent upon your GPA. Your GPA has to be at least 2.7, which is equivalent to B-. So you need to obtain good grades in your coursework. There is a special exit award if, in special circumstances, students cannot complete the full thesis because of some unexpected situation. But this special exit award still required students to finish 24 credits of coursework, together with 6 credits of the thesis proposal, with a GPA of at least 1.7, that is equivalent to C-, because that is the requirement for PolyU to award a master's degree upon a completion of 30 credits. And this master's degree will be the Master of Science in Optometry Research Studies. So perhaps in the first year and a half, upon acquiring all the graduation requirement for this Master of Science in Optometry Research Studies, you will end up with a master's degree. But we do encourage students to complete the whole thesis to obtain the D optometry degree eventually. The entrance requirement is mainly, I beg your pardon. So let me go back to the, sorry for the technology problems. Okay, I go back to, this page, which is the entrance requirement. You are expected to carry a master's degrees in optometry or equivalent, and at least 3 years of full-time working experience in optometry practice. That is why I emphasize that our D optometry degree or D optometry program is specially designed for practicing optometrists. You can imagine that we put optokeratology and specialty contact lenses as 2 compulsory subjects. You should have some skills in handling contact lenses. And you should be practicing in the optometric field. And you also need to fulfill the English and general requirements stipulated by PolyU. If I go to that page, if your bachelor degree or equivalent obtained by your institute was not using English as the medium of instruction, then you need to take either a TOEFL exam or IELTS exam. However, if you obtain your bachelor equivalent or master degree from an institute using English, then you just need to provide a proof. You don't need to take the TOEFL or the IELTS. If you click to our school webpage under study, taught postgraduate program, you will find a lot of information under Doctor of Optometry. I will also highlight some essential elements in the following few slides. For candidates who don't have the master degrees, but only the undergraduates, we also recognize a 4-year or 5-year undergraduate degree in optometry. But you need to achieve at least second upper class honors degree with 5 years, so more experience in the optometric practice. However, if you finish a residency program upon your graduation, so a 2 years residency training is also equivalent to 5 years of full-time work experience in optometric practice. But if you don't have a master degree, you should have some previous knowledge and skills in conducting research methods. You need to provide proof regarding the curriculum that you complete, which should include some research methodology and analysis. Because as you know, that 24 credits are mainly from research work. In applying for our B-Optom program, you need to provide transcripts so you know what subjects you have studied. So if the documents are not in English or Chinese, then you are required to provide official translation of documents in English. You also need to submit your CV, no more than 4 A4 size pages, with a list of publication, if there is any. And submit a personal statement, no more than 2 pages, telling us why you are so eager to study our program. And the best, during your application, submit your research proposal with the areas, topic, and title for thesis. Or if you cannot submit it timely, at least you should provide this information before the interview. Other information that we are looking for include your proposed study plan, such as which elective subjects that you are going to take. So it is better for us to plan ahead because I have already shared with you our plan to offer the subjects. Especially for elective subjects, it really depends on majority of the students in their study plan. You are also advised to submit recommendation letters from your employers, or research supervisor. If that is applicable, please also submit the IELTS and TOEFL results. We received questions from the audience last time about the accommodation. So non-local students, you need to arrange your accommodation yourselves. So here is information about the rental, varied from 5,000 to 15,000 per month. So living standards is pretty high in Hong Kong. So you may share the residential areas with other non-local students, because PolyU does have a lot of non-local students. They share the residential areas themselves to save the rental. Some information can be obtained from the university website. Here, let me click on it. So that is the information that the university provides for non-local students. 11,700 per credit is a lot, so we understand that, but there is a requirement regarding the tuition fee. So for local students, you can apply this extended non-means test loan scheme. You can get some information from the government page. Here is a government website about this extended non-means test loan scheme. There is another one called Continuing Education Fund, which we will apply for it upon the formal approval of our Optom program. There are also some admission scholarships that we obtained from some industrial partners. We will try our best to get more scholarship for students. Most of the scholarships are based on the academic performance of the students in the coursework. So for those students who are admitted to our program, please work hard for the coursework with good grades. Then I hope that eventually you will be the awardees for these scholarships. As I said, the online application has already been opened, and the deadline for the application of the September 2024 cohort will be end of April this year. The application fee is just $450, but that is a non-refundable and non-transferable application fee. Interest parties are strongly encouraged to apply for it with the information that we need, I previously mentioned. Candidates will be shortlisted for an interview. I think that is especially important for the personal statements that you provide. There are some remarks that I want to highlight. The Optom program that we designed is mainly for practitioners, especially with rigid contact lens fitting knowledge in the undergrad training. The Optometrist Board in Hong Kong is responsible for regulating optometrist registration and regulation. If you Googled Optometrist Board Hong Kong, you will find the web page of the Optometrist Board. Under the application for registration, the board page has listed qualification eligible to register as optometrists in Hong Kong. I will encourage you to visit the Optometrist Board website, especially under the application for registration. So our Optom degree is not eligible for registration. This is a program enhancing your optometric knowledge and skills in your chosen specialty areas, especially through the research work that you will be completed. Remember to keep the GPA at 1.7 at all times, at least, because below 1.7 is hitting the threshold for deregistration, which is applicable to both undergrad and postgrad programs. But certainly, you should maintain your GPA 2.7 or above at all times, because 2.7 is the minimum GPA requirement for graduation. Here is a QR code that you can find more information. And as I shared with you previously, if you go to the school webpage, our school's webpage, under Study Taught Postgraduate Program, you will find a lot of information for the optometry. And I also have some follow-up reminders for you based on our experience in the last information seminars, such as I have already covered curriculum and subjects, admission information, fees, and available financial aids, but I did not mention about career prospects. So I would like to cover a little bit on this. Our program is mainly for practicing optometrists. So upon completion of our D-Optom program, certainly you increase your competitiveness as an employed practitioner, because you are different from perhaps your other colleagues in the workplace, that you will be specialized in a particular optometry specialty. No matter that is amblyopia treatment, orthokeratology, or binocular visions. So you will be different from your colleagues in the workplace. If you own your practice, it also increases your competitiveness as an owner, because you will be different from another optometrist owner, that you can provide specialty service. If you are educators, such as faculty in optometry schools, upon completion of our program, so certainly you can teach some optometry specialty areas. So that's why, no matter you are an employee, you own your practice, or being an educator, I do encourage you to consider our program to further enhance your skills and knowledge. You will be different from your peers. There are other questions that candidates may want to ask, such as Doctor of Optometry. Some other countries also offer Doctor of Optometry using the abbreviation of OD, such as in North America, because North America 4-year Doctor of Optometry program end up with an OD. There are also 2 optometry schools in Australia also offer OD, but their OD is different from our Doctor of Optometry. So that's why we call this D-Optom rather than OD in abbreviations. Because their OD are mainly the entry level for practicing optometry. I searched from University of Waterloo in Canada, their OD program for practicing optometry lasts for 2 years with a tuition fee of 200,000 Canadian dollars, which is equivalent to almost 1.2 million Hong Kong dollars. The OD program offered by Western University in US for practicing optometrists also lasts for 2 years with a tuition fee of around 90,000. So it is almost 800,000 Hong Kong dollars. The New England College of Optometry also have OD program for practicing optometrists, also a 2-year program. But the tuition fee is close to 1 million Hong Kong dollars. So their OD program are really training entry-level optometrists working in Canada or United States. While our OD program is different, is to train optometry specialists in a specialty area. There are also PhD through research path. So for PhD studies, usually it takes 3 or 4 years, and they focus in a particular research area. The career path could be very different, such as working in R&D or in university to carry out research work independently. Our university, PolyU, the Faculty of Health and Social Sciences, actually also offer a doctorate program called Doctor of Health Science, which is a program for healthcare professionals in various fields, because the DHSC is open to physiotherapists, occupational therapists, radiographers, and also optometrists. So this DHSC program is not specialized in a particular optometric specialty area, so it's very different. So I hope that I share with you this further information can answer some of the questions that you may have. So the DHSC is to train leaders in the healthcare environment, no matter that is physiotherapy, radiography, or optometry. I'm happy to answer any other questions that you may have. Let me look at the chat, the chat box. So there could be a lot of questions that the audience ask. So I may go to the first one, starting from the very beginning. Are there plans for a master's degree in optometry in the future? Yes. We first of all launched the D-Optom program in this academic year. We are actually preparing the Master of Innovative and Visual Science, which will be launched in 2025 next year. That is a 1-year full-time master program. So stay tuned in our website. So we will provide more information, but we prepare to launch this D-Optom program first. Actually, my colleagues has already answered quite a lot of questions. My colleagues, Ms. Ho, actually is working with me this evening. So, and Professor Alan Zhang also working with me online to answer the questions that you posed. So as long as they provide some feedback, so I don't need to cover that again. Let me go to some questions that may not be answered. Oh, yes, is the quantity and quality of papers published during the master degree helpful for applying for this program? Because in your CV, I believe you will put down the publications so far from your undergraduate or master education. They will be very helpful, especially for us to consider your research capability. But I would say your personal statement is also very important for us to understand why do you want to take our D-Optometry program. So provide as much as information that you can, because it will be very helpful in your applications. Is peer review publication compulsory for the completion of the DHSC program? I believe because the DHSC program also requires the students to have research output. Peer reviewed is a very good exercise to ensure the quality of the research output. Upon the DHSC graduates that are supervised, all of them generate research output in peer-reviewed journals. So I believe peer-reviewed mechanism is more or less a must in the research field, and try your best to consider good research journals for considering the submission of your manuscript, please. The English level and test score, if that is TOEFL internet, it will be 80. If that is IELTS, it will be 6. That is the requirement of PolyU. However, if your undergraduate or master degrees were obtained from an institute in which English is the official medium, then you simply ask your institute to provide a letter confirming that English was the medium during your study. Then you don't need to take the TOEFL or IELTS exam. I hope that I answer all the questions that you will have. There is a question about postdoc in overseas in US, only 1 year, need English. If you are working if you have been working in the States, so certainly your English level should have reached the requirement. But regarding an official document confirming your English capacity, I think it is better for you to either ask your institute to offer a formal letter to confirm that English was the medium in during your study, or the most common way to ensure your English capability is through the public exam, that is either TOEFL or IELTS. That is the requirement of PolyU. There is a question about postdoc experience, but not PhD. So should we contact a mentor or teacher before the? I would strongly encourage you to contact your supervisor or your mentor to write a recommendation letters for you, up to 2 recommendation letters, because your mentor or supervisor certainly know you very well, and their recommendation letter will be very useful for your application. So please seek their help. There is a question about whether there is no Master of Optometry course yet. Yes, correct. Now we are offering the Optometry or Doctor of Optometry programs. However, as I said previously, if you earned 24 credits from coursework, another 6 credits from the thesis proposal, you have already gained 30 credits, which is also a graduation requirement with a GPA of 1.7 for our master special exit degree. But I encourage you to finish the whole program because you will be specialized in a particular optometry specialty areas. So there is a question about the expenditure. Yes, it is around 12,000 per credit and a total credit of 40X. That is the tuition fee. And accommodation and living expenses, correct? Are there other expenses? I think that is just simply living expenses, your transportation, your meal, etc. Can we apply for a scholarship to the Hong Kong Polytechnic University? Actually, we are working with our industrial partner to establish some scholarships for students. However, most of these scholarships are awarded to students with good academic performance, because we also have some scholarships for our undergraduate students, mainly based on their academic performance. So that is not an entry scholarship that upon your admissions, then right away you will get a scholarship. No, we don't have an entry scholarship at the present moment. The scholarship that we are working with the industry is to award students with good academic performance, especially in the coursework in the first years. So please work hard in those coursework. Regarding the question, let me see if there is another one. Oh, there is a question about the research proposal. The research proposal, we counted under the thesis proposal, carrying 6 credits. And you end up with a research proposal together, working with the help of your supervisors. The research proposal should be around 4,000 words. You need to orally present what you are going to study and answer the questions from the panel upon their satisfaction, because you can only carry out your research after your research proposal has been approved. I call the data collection, analysis, and write-up as stage 2 of your thesis. Stage 1 of your thesis is mainly to prepare the proposal. What I want to get back to the previous question regarding paper published, maybe in the master study, whether that should be better to be a peer-reviewed journal. Certainly, yes. And actually, one graduation requirement for our D.Optom is a peer-reviewed manuscript accepted by a journal. So peer-reviewed is the mechanisms to ensure the quality of your manuscript. Even if that is a presentation in a renowned conference, such as the ARBO, it is also under the peer review mechanisms. The proposal I mentioned is the proposal before the we hope that you can highlight what research areas that you are interested in pursuing your research work. That is why I advise you to visit our webpage about the research areas that we have the expertise within the school, who may be your supervisor in the future. So the more that you can provide, the better, because very likely during the interview, we will ask for your research plan, because we need to ensure that we have a suitable supervisors to take care of your research work. So why not you do some homework first, including a visit of our webpage, look up who are academic staffs in our schools, who could be your potential supervisor in whatever areas. I think it helps you to demonstrate your research interest, which fits with our mentorship. There are still a few minutes left. If there are other questions that have not been answered, so please let me know. Actually, my colleagues and myself will try our best to provide all the information to you. We have already posted a lot of information on our webpage. But if there are questions that you may have in the very near future, so perhaps I go back to the QR code and also the email address, because after the first information seminar, we did receive quite a number of questions via email, and we provide the response in a day or two, because we will try to answer your questions, so to facilitate your early submission of your applications. Oh, how many student slots are available each year? We aim at admitting 18 students, 18, so 18 students. So it will be a small class, good students. We work closely with students and staff. You're welcome. Please submit it via the email because email is pretty convenient. And we can also attach quite a number of further information if necessary through the email. Yes, that will be 18 students that we are targeting to accept 18. Please send your question via the email. Usually you will get our reply in a day or two. So take the time to contact your previous employer or your research supervisor. Their recommendation letters certainly will be very useful. And also think about carefully how to prepare your personal statements. Or is it possible to propose a course schedule for part-time program? So as I said, compulsory subjects, 1 in the first semester, 2 in the second semester. We also plan to offer 3 elective subjects in first semester and the second semester as the table I share with you. We can post that in our webpage, the table that I share with you, no problem. Are people with a master's degree in ophthalmology allowed to apply? I mentioned at one point that it is very important for the applicants to have the knowledge of contact lenses because we put orthokeratology and specialty contact lenses as the compulsory subjects. So you should have some basic knowledge and skills in contact lens fitting in order to catch up the latest technology in orthokeratology and other specialty contact lenses. So it doesn't matter whether your original background is ophthalmology, because more important is for you to have the skills and knowledge of simple contact lens fitting. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for you to catch up. Okay, I hope that I have already covered all the important areas that will be useful for you. And please visit our webpage if you have other questions that we might not have covered in this evening, because we try to post some updates via our webpage. So thank you very much for attending this information seminar. Hope to receive your application very soon. Okay, bye-bye.